website. I hope that you're all well and that you've all had a lovely weekend. I thought I'd change the scene a little bit because it is such a lovely day, so I figured why not actually film outside my garage. I did actually try filming it in my garage, but it wasn't really happening. So I figured it's better if I just do it outside, because I was still training in the garage, but I'm just outside it, that's all. I thought the main thing is I'd actually talk about my Arnie obsessions and how my Arnie obsessions all began, because it did all actually begin out there in that garage when I started doing the double body part split that I was given last year. Quite an incredible thing to do, really. I can't believe as a woman I actually did that double body part split, but I did. It consisted of doing strength training in the morning, and then in the afternoon I was doing tons and tons and tons of supersets, and I was on a rather extreme diet as well, but it did really lean me out, so it was good in that way. But as I sort of started doing this more and more and more, I got pretty obsessed with the whole thing, and I sort of started reading up on it a lot more. I discovered that it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, my beloved Arnie, who actually sort of came up with this whole thing, and I just thought it was absolutely amazing that this man, the way he trained, his ethos, everything was just absolutely incredible for what he achieved, and all the principles of bodybuilding that he applied to the real world, and he applied it to business, and he applied it to his film career, and he applied it to his political career as well. So I'm just going to go through a few things that I do love about Arnie. The first thing being this book, which is the Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding. This is an absolutely awesome book, and that I got started with. Basically, it's got lots and lots of old school sort of pictures, really old school pictures, loads of old school exercises as well. And it's good as a manual, but it's not something you can read all in one big hit, because it is just so huge. It's just a bit much really, but it's absolutely brilliant. I've also got this one over here where it's his autobiography, but it's written by somebody else, and he talks about his political career and his film career in it, which is pretty cool as well. But this one is just my absolute Bible. If I was to ever have a Bible, if there was one thing that changed me completely, it was reading this book over here. Just absolutely brilliant. The education of a bodybuilder. I should have bloody shares in this book. I tell you, the amount of times I told him to read this. It's just, he talks about having a positive mindset, and he talks about how he got into it and his love for bodybuilding, really. And it's about, and I could really relate to that, because I think of my love for figure and how much I love figure, and for what I want to achieve in the whole figure sort of thing as well. You know, I want to make history and be the first ever British Muslim woman to get IFBB Pro, which is a bloody big deal, because nobody's ever done it. No British Muslim woman has ever actually done it, and I know for a fact that British Muslim women in the United Kingdom are not out in their garages training the way that I did. They weren't getting up at 4:30 in the morning, in the freezing cold, in the winter, just sticking on a ton of layers and going out there and doing a workout. Hell no. For a lot of them, it's enough just to even get to the gym once or twice a week, let alone follow such a regimented diet and training. But what it did for my confidence was just unbelievable, and it just made me realise how much I love this, and that I felt that, you know, this is just something I can do, especially when I think of my past and everything that I've overcome, really. With me writing my book and everything, you're all going to see what I went through. Nothing's been hidden. And the fact that I overcame all of that, and went on to do something as extraordinary as getting Figure Pro, it's just amazing. It is. It's a really amazing thing. It's stuff that dreams are made of, really. But I love the fact that he really, Arnie, idolised Reg Park, because I'm like that over Louise, and he got up on stage and actually competed against Reg Park. My dream is to ultimately stand up on stage next to Louise, and for me that would be enough, just to actually be up on stage next to her, because she's my mentor and I just completely idolise her. But ultimately, I know where I ultimately want to end up, and it is, the sky's the limit for me. There's just no way it would be enough for me just to get pro. I want to go beyond that. It's just where I'm heading, what my vision is, for my visualization, everything, for where I want to be, is just way out there. It is out there. And it's not an impossible thing. You know, these women that do this, they're not superhuman or anything. They just work unbelievably hard. They make a lot of sacrifices as well. Sacrifices which to normal people would be like, oh my God, you know, how can you do that? It's just, there's no sacrifice that's too big basically. My determination is just so on it. You know, getting up at 5 a.m. to go and do my cardio is no hardship. Eating the same thing day in, day out, weighing out my food, planning all my meals, everything. None of it just doesn't bother me because I know the result that I'm already getting and the result of how I'm going to end up and where I'm going to be, especially touring with Ronnie Coleman next year. That is just an unbelievable opportunity. And the fact that he's actually going to introduce me on stage and I'm actually going to get to socialise with him, and I'm going to talk to him in a lot of depth about the determination and dedication that's needed to be up on that Olympia platform, because he's done it. He's won Mr. Olympia 8 times. I mean, heck, you know, he's done it. Okay, a few more little things. I'm just going to quickly show you. Pumping Iron. Oh my God, what an amazing film. How many scenes in this am I obsessed with? I have seen this film 50 million times. Honestly, I've actually got two versions like that because one broke down, obviously. One broke down from watching it so many times. So I've got one version there and I've got another version there. And this one, my best friend actually gave me this one. It belonged to her ex-husband, and she was like, well, she divorced him. She's like, sod that, I'm not giving her. He's not getting that back. So she gave it to me instead. So thank you, Nat. She gave me that one, which is really, really cool. My daughter's obsessed with this film as well. She's watched it 50 million times. In fact, she was watching it this morning. Whilst I was having a lie-in in bed, she was watching that. But this one's really funny too. Stay Hungry. This is very, very bizarre. It's kind of Arnie with his really bad accent, and he's sort of, there's a Mr. Universe contest, and him and Ken Waller are like running around on buses posing and stuff. I mean, Pumping Iron is just classic, where you've got, you know, you've got Franco and you've got Arnie and you've got that really rather large guy bicep curling, you know, with tiny dumbbells, and you've got Louis giving it large in the background. So this is just brilliant. I love it. I absolutely love it. I have also got this as well. It's a bodybuilder's nutrition, because, you know, I'm so obsessed with this. I have to read up on loads of stuff. But apparently it turns out that Franco's not a doctor. It all kind of got revealed recently. It's not that long ago that he wasn't a doctor at all, but he pretended that he was. And there are some very bizarre people out there who pretend to be all sorts of things that they're not, including doctors. I mean, my God, if you've got a PhD, fair enough, you're a doctor. Doesn't mean that you're a medical doctor, though. But there's enough liars out there who would like you to think that they're doctors when they're really not. So be careful who you talk to, and be careful who you take advice off as well. If you don't know, if somebody says that they're a doctor, it really doesn't mean that they are. That's all I'm going to say about that. Just trust me on that, okay? But just generally, I just wanted to tell you a little bit about my Arnie obsessions and just how much I love that man. And I know that he's been wanting to be shot by a lot of women with what he did in his personal life. But quite frankly, as far as I'm concerned, what he did for bodybuilding and what he paved that. He made it happen, really. He made it happen for himself. When you consider he started out training in his basement, you know, he trained in his basement in the freezing cold, but he had that determination, he had that vision, and most of all, he had that self-belief. And that's what I love about that book that I've got. He talks about that in so much depth, that if your mindset isn't there about winning, forget it. You're not going to. If you cannot get through those final reps, it's just not going to happen. So I just think it's awesome. It is brilliant. But that's my Arnie obsessions there. I will be writing my blog this week. I hope you guys are all well and that you're training hard. I'm training very, very hard at the moment. But it's all good. Dieting's going well. I'm trimming up quite nicely. I'm quite happy with how it's all going. So it's all good. Take care, guys, okay? Lots and lots of figure love. Bye!